Bruce, bro, you looking younger, bro. You looking younger.
I know, man. He looks like he's like 20 years old.
What the hell you been sipping on,
What's
bro?
up with that?
He's Tuck Everlasting.
You aging backwards like Benjamin Button? What's
I
up?
know, right?
Oh, man. Well, thank you all.
Don't touch your face.
Right. Like I said, kind of doing a little bit of the formatting stuff on the fly, so my apologies if it's a little bit choppy. Congratulations on being in kind of the round floor phase. But yeah, we wanted to, first off, we introduced Mike earlier and you kind of got a chance to talk with him a little bit about the video and your breakouts, but just wanted to formally, give him the chance to kind of introduce himself. And I think the question we're going to try and ask all our guests, first off, of course, is can you just tell people where you're from, talk a little bit about, I guess, just your background in the scene.
Okay. Well, my name is Mike Capes, born and raised in Portland, raised on the north side of Portland, St. John's, mostly, and a little bit in the northeast by Woodline. I've been doing music since I was I started writing in 5th grade with poetry, and then from there, I just kind of caught fire with it, inspired a lot by Tupac early on. And from there, man, I did music in high school and you gotta give me some pointers. I'm trying to, in my head, I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna start, where I'm gonna end.
Did a stint at Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when you met me at the Lloyd Center in 2002 and you sent me your Discman and had me put the headphones on? I was like, man, this is some good shit.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I work at Roosevelt High School as well with a program called Step Up through Open School. So I do mentoring in the city, and yeah, those are my two passions: music and mentoring youth. So
yeah, and we will, make sure to plug all your things and give you a chance to plug all your things. So I guess we can talk a little bit. We can just get into talking about the video some more. Can you just talk about the process of making it? Some of us, I think, recognize some of the faces in there, but
he was telling us in our small group discussion about how he found the director and stuff like that. But he might want to share it to a bigger audience.
So Prima DeGrazia shot the video and directed it, and she was with Honey Lab Productions. That's her whole team, edited and all of that. But the process was, man, she had heard my songs, and she's originally from here, but based in LA. But she heard my songs and wanted to shoot a video with me, and that wasn't the first video she wanted to shoot with me, but that's the one I had in my head for after I seen her work. I pitched it to her, and then she sent me a vision board, and I felt like it was dead on. We was collaborating with that, and then she flew out here, shot the Multnomah Falls shot. That was separate from the house shot with all the women in there and the partying and stuff. And then also the Crystal Ballroom, that was another one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I put out a casting call on my Facebook and hit up some people that I personally know to see if they wanted to be in the video. And then day of at the house it was an Airbnb we rented out. Man, it was so many people that showed up. There was really a line out of the door around around everything. So the turnout was just crazy, man. And that type of support, I don't take that for granted. So it was a happy moment. It was kids in there, it was grandmas in there, it was all types of Black women, and it turned out exactly how I wanted it to. So.
And did you name that specifically during the casting call, or did you just say Black women who want to show up to this thing on this day?
So I pushed the song a lot by itself at first. Mm-hmm. Just got it out there in people's ears, and then people heard it and they rocked with it. Then I put a casting call out about it, and I had people tag Black women in it. And most people was down, man. I think maybe, I feel like over 100 people committed to it, and I feel like maybe 60, 70 women showed up, women and girls. So it was wild, and it was just another way of seeing how much Black women support, for real.
Real.
They supported hard.
Was there anything in like any particular event, any particular person that inspired this?
First off, I mean, just growing up, I've always been kind of aware of like colorism and shit, and how black women deal with in the world. So I wanted to make a song just dedicated to them that they could play at any time and feel celebrated. Like I was saying earlier, without it being in benefit of men, I wanted it to just be about them. You know what I mean? And it's inspired by "Keep Your Head Up" is one of my favorite songs, and Tupac.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of comes from that. I didn't sing the hook, but I wrote the hook as well. So, and then.
Oh yeah, who sung the hook?
Yeah.
That's Aaron O'Brien Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Trox and Tony Ozier was on the beat. Yeah.
And Tony Ozier, as we were talking about earlier, he's on our playlist.
For some reason, I thought it was Big Diz on the hook, but that's good to know. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that knowledge.
Yeah.
So y'all used the Crystal Ballroom for the first shots.
Yeah. We just wanted a big open space, and that was we shot big, and we was like, all right, let's try to get the Crystal Ballroom. And Prima did somehow. I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
And I had the relationship there because I did a few shows there.
Okay.
So they knew me and was okay with it.
One of those shows I definitely remember was Scarface, and I remember Scarface coming out rocking the Mike Capes hat. So
the same one Ryan got on.
Right, I definitely remember that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That shit nuts.
Isn't that nuts?
No big deal.
Childhood fucking, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Scarface is one of my main inspirations, bro, as a writer. So
I know that.
Meet him and all that shit. That was nuts.
What was it like when you met him? I bet it was surreal.
Down to earth. He's down to earth, man.
Really?
Him and DJ Quick. I was in the elevator with him and DJ Quick at the end talking. I'm like, this shit is nuts. I grew up on their music, so.
Wow.
Damn, I can't imagine. What elevator?
It was the one coming down from the top floor in the Crystal Ballroom.
Okay.
We just kicking shit in there. It was cool. It was wild.
Damn. Wow, that's amazing.
My Playing Tricks on Me is like the first hip hop song that ever really like caught me.
Spoke to you?
Yeah, the video mostly.
That video is scary.
I liked it though. Anything I seen it when I was like 4. Anytime it would come on, I'd stop what I was doing and sit crisscross applesauce in front of the TV and just be watching. So like, for that shit to come full circle is wild to me.
Wow.
And his son walked up to my merch table when we were setting up and was like, how much one of your hats cost? And I was like, oh, it's this much. He was like, my dad want to wear it. I was like, who's your dad? He was like, and he pointed at him. I was like, what the fuck? He was like, sound checking. I'm like, what? You want to wear it? Take that shit for free. Go ahead.
I know, right? You can have it.
I didn't know if he was gonna wear it or not for real. But then I was like, bro, he really got my hat on. Nuts.
Shit.
Yeah.
Just kind of stepping back from looking at this particular song, just like a little bit more about where you're from. Like a lot of y'all from St. John's, y'all rep St. John's like crazy.
Mac, yeah.
Like and Portland is like a city that has like we're made up of so many different neighborhoods that kind of have their own identities, but like St. John's, I would say, is definitely in like the top 3 of how much people like represent that particular neighborhood. So what is so different about St. John's to y'all, or to you rather, than like Portland? It's almost like it's its own city.
Yeah.
It's still Portland, but it's like, thing about St. John's is a lot. I look at Northeast as like the city, and St. John's is kind of more like residential. It's more community based. All of us out there grew up around each other, playing sports and going to community centers and all of that. We all know each other, and it's always been like, the North is the poor end, the blah, 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 blah. It smell like this, it's this and that. So it's like we always kind of have a chip on our shoulder, or underdog type spirit. and I think it also just mirrors St. John's as far as like being very like unique and tucked away. It's kind of different, you know what I mean? It's starting to be gentrified now, but it was one of the last places to start to feel that.
Yep.
There's a certain spirit about St. John's. It wasn't always like UP students living there and shit like that. When I was growing up there, didn't nobody want to live there. Didn't nobody want to come that deep into Portland, you know what I mean? So it's like Immaculate was the first person. Ilmac is the first person I grew up hearing rap.
Mm-hmm.
He lived right down the street from me on Pier Park Place, and I would go to his house and we would play basketball. His brother was my age, so we would play basketball all day. We all really like grew up with each other. It wasn't like, oh, I know him. Kind of. It wasn't like I've just seen him before. Like we knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
and then Maze Caroma, Glenn Waco. Like there's so much.
Vinny Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not. You know, the rap ball kind of always been in the Northeast side, you know what I mean? So we just rap for the North, man. It's an underdog type of thing.
I love it.
And for everybody here, Immaculate is actually a world famous battle rapper from Portland, from St. John specifically. We might have to get one of his videos on here one day. Maybe I'll battle rap him. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Stop.
You better bring your lunch, bro.
Just try it. Just try it.
Bring your lunch, bro.
This is the content I subscribe for.
Oh yeah.
Anyone want to see a dead body? No.
Yeah, that's a rapping motherfucker.
Yeah. Incredible lyricist.
Something else I'll add to that is like, most of us out there didn't grow up with much, so a lot of our rap styles we got is led by stories and just a different narrative from the rest of the city a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you listen, you hear the difference.
Yeah.
It's not saying that there isn't stories from Northeast and all of that, but the story's a little different. I feel like in Northeast, growing up, there's a lot more money over there.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that people was rich, but like
right.
St. John's was kind of like people of color and, you know, blue collar white folks growing up. So,
yeah. Does this I'm gonna get in your personal business for
I ain't tripping.
Does this song resonate different for you now with a ring on your finger?
You talking about Black Pearls?
Yeah, Black Pearls.
Man, actually, she actually inspired it as well. You know what I mean? That's the woman closest to me, my wife at the time, girlfriend. But she was part of that inspiration as well. Like just seeing the shit she dealt with, like externally and internally, it was like giving her flowers. You know what I mean? That type of song, and she's in the video.
Yeah.
It definitely hits different. It's like I wanted something if one day I have a daughter that she could listen to, you know.
And follow our art page on Instagram. What is it? Azuria Art?
Azure. Yeah.
Azure Art.
Art by Azure.
Art by Azure. Yeah. That's a dope Instagram follow.
Yeah, her and Donovan cousins.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that till now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Portland small.
Portland is the smallest Black community. I mean, everybody.
I would report to her all the time.
Everybody kind of like, I feel like is a half cousin away from being related. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, it's wild.
Yeah. We want to kind of open it up more to y'all to ask Mike questions, and it doesn't have to just be about this song, but just him as an artist and just kind of anything that's popping up for y'all at this moment.
Shoot.
So you said you want to record with live musicians. Is that still a plan?
Yeah, definitely, man. A lot of that, I've always wanted to do it, but a lot of it became more.
It's
like
just putting the pieces together, or
it's also it costs more to do it, but it's inspired. Doing Black Pearls actually inspired a lot of that because there's live instruments on that. You know what I mean? There's live drums. There's a few live things on that where it's like I like how they sound, and I grew up mostly around like soul music and funk and shit like that. So I like pianos, violins, and guitars and saxophones and shit.
Nice.
I love that type of sound. So,
nice.
And I feel like it'll go well with my style of rapping.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm psyched for that.
Yeah.
Melinda, I saw, not to call you out, but I saw you were nodding real heavy to it. Yeah.
I was really enjoying myself. It's really, really awesome to see your work, Michael. And
oh shit, how you doing?
Yeah, I was just saying we worked at Parks and Recs together. Yeah, I reported to Ajurea all the time.
Yeah.
And so just to see so many people that I recognized in the video and to just this whole thing, I was getting a little misty there.
Oh shit. Let's go.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I was loving every minute of it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So it's good to see you, man.
You too.
I'm so happy for you, and
thank you.
This is all so awesome.
Got more questions from the audience?
Well, I mean, this is just a question just to keep the conversation going, but also I noticed that like in a lot of your work you have spoken word, and so you can tell that you're a fan of poetry, because I've heard like just different pieces, even from like other people, where you're having like features of other artists like reciting poetry on some of your songs. Do you feel like you would ever just do like a whole kind of set of spoken word, or is that like not, you don't like that, you like to have the music with it and call it rap?
I don't think I would do that. I appreciate that other people do it. I'm more so I like going over instrumentation, but I got a super respect for poetry because that's how I started writing raps in the first place. So, and I also wanted to shine light on other type of musicians in the city. You know what I mean? I always try to get local producers and local poets and things like that. And for Concrete Dreams, there's a lot of it in there because I just wanted to give people like a palate cleanser from rapping. Sometime like at each point in the album, there's at each like quarter part of the album, there's somebody doing something like that. And I just wanted to highlight that with Nahi and Lauren Steele and who else is on there? Farnell doing the horns. It's just something I got an appreciation for.
Yeah, and Concrete Dreams, that's your second project, second official project that you have put out. I remember Aaliyah Zen as well. She was on that intro doing some stuff there.
I was going to ask, how did you meet Aaliyah? Was that through Glenn Waco?
Yeah, I met Aaliyah through Glenn Waco.
Okay.
Yeah, and for people who don't know Aaliyah Zen too, Aaliyah,
she's amazing.
Not based here in Portland right now. She was only here for a short amount of time, but she's a artist that has been all around, but also has some TDE affiliation as well. So Top Dog Entertainment. So yeah. Just to go a little bit more into Concrete Dreams, you were talking a lot about story in that one, and that one seems like you're really looking at a particular point of view. Of course, like Black Pearls is on there, but there's a lot of stories that are not necessarily about, you know, Black women or anything like that. It's just about your perspective of being in North Portland. But there's more to it as well. Like, what was your kind of thought process when you were sitting down for that one? I know.
Concrete Dream?
Yeah, I know it's not your most recent project, but
no, that's okay, man. I look at them as all like important parts of my life, bro. Concrete Dreams was a time when like a lot of there's always been police brutality on Black folks, but it was like a certain time frame here when you had Trump getting elected, you had videos popping up on your Facebook all the time of Black people. Well, trauma porn is what I call it. Just popping up out of nowhere. And then just walking around in real life, a lot of tension. So that was me getting a lot of that off my chest. It was like Concrete Dreams, the point of that whole title, and if you see the cover, it's like a little girl doing a chalk body outline you see at a homicide scene, but on the inside there's like stars. And I wanted that album to be like a time capsule for kids and people that come from what I come from. And the whole point of that was like dreaming beyond your circumstances. So that's why I made that album. I wanted to talk about real shit, but also give people like hope on it too, as well, during those times. Yeah. And that's why it's called Concrete Dreams, just dreaming beyond your circumstances at the end of the day. But I don't remember all of your question. Can you
it was just like, what was the thought process when you were sitting down for that one? And so you answered a lot of it.
Yeah, I just wanted to be super honest on it, and I wanted it to be lyrical but musical at the same time. And I had a hard ass time breaking down the how many songs I was gonna have on it. That's why this.
Those last two tracks, Jumper Cables and Poinsette. How do you pronounce it? Those are my two maybe best Mike Capes tracks ever. I love those last two tracks.
Yeah, those are the energy tracks, man. Jumper Cables was more so like, I started with, what's the first song on there? It was, I think it was A.M. Thoughts. Yeah.
Yep.
And A.M. Thoughts stands for Against Me Thoughts. So when you listen to that song, you can, so it's set up in the morning, but I say A.M. Thoughts, A.M. means against me.
Okay.
And if you listen to that verse, it's like somebody that comes from where I come from talking about all the things that's against him and kind of like, being subdued by that and kind of embracing it. And by the end, on Jumper Cables, the hook is North Side. I done came up. You know what I mean?
I done came up, homie.
It's a whole like storyline.
Not the only way it goes. You're talking about not mixing your words in the breakout room. It's not just North Side. We done came up.
North Side nigga, I done came up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that mean. And then I wrote that over like a time period of like maybe 3 or 4 years.
Damn.
So just like
entire album.
Yeah, it kicked off by Razor Tongue. Like I feel like Razor Tongue. I was doing shit before Razor Tongue with Rise and Grind, but I feel like Razor Tongue made people pay a whole lot of attention. And with Razor Tongue, I wrote that from the perspective of a black youth venting to a therapist, saying everything you wanted to say, and that's where that comes from. You know what I mean?
Was that informed by like, I know you're a mentor and you everything. Was that or was that just like generally your own experience and things that you wanted to say when you were younger too, or people around you?
It was a mix. It was my personal stuff, people I've grown up around, and stuff I was just seeing in the world. Yeah, that song, I wrote that that song took maybe like 2 years, bro. Wow. I wrote the first half, then I sat on it, and then the second half came. I don't remember what made the second half come, but something did. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of artists who kind of do the same process you do, but stop before they get to the hope piece. They want to show like, here's where I'm from, here's the experiences I've been through. Maybe you've been through something similar, but they kind of stop at that reflective phase. And it feels like you take it to like the next level of like, and here's why there should be hope. Here's why you might have hope if this story resonates with you.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
We're having hope?
Yeah, or why is that important for you to like take your music there to the hope phase?
I guess just how my life played out, man. I got a pretty rough background just growing up. So there was mentors and things like that at certain checkpoints that just came. It wasn't nothing I was looking for in them, but like certain very important parts of my youth, mentors popped up and helped me stay on the right track. And I feel like it's important to give hope to kids that come from the shit I come from, or it's way easier to get swallowed by what's around them. I grew up around a lot of shit that could have swallowed me, and there's a lot of kids that's like me, that was like me, wanted more, but like just didn't see it as possible. So that's why I think it's, for me, I'm always trying to put hope in my music. I could sit back and glorify this shit, but I don't feel like it's nothing to glorify, you know what I mean? I'm appreciative for like what struggle helped me learn and things like that, but at the end of the day, the point is to get on the other side of it. So if I can help kids and people who come from what I come from get on the other side of the fence, then I'm gonna do that, and that's what I try to do with my music. And then for people that's not from what I come from, it gives you more perspective. It can educate you on things you might not have known been going on. And a lot of my point with Concrete Dreams was highlighting the black side of Portland. I feel like when you think of Portland and how Portland is looked at from the outside as Portlandia, it's a very white version of Portland. So I wanted to put out there the side of Black Portland that I come from. That this shit is going on while you eating voodoo donuts, and while you walk in the Golden Retriever, and while you in Woodlawn Park and you don't know nothing about what real Woodlawn Park is, and like shit that's going on underneath that you don't see because you're not a part of it.
There's like an incredible picture I came across probably like 4 years ago of some Woodlawn Park Bloods, and then it's like some dudes playing Star Trek in the park in Woodlawn at the same time. And I'm like, this is the epitome of the disconnect in the city. Like this, if you ever need a description of what's happening, this is it.
Did you use that as like your cover photo for Gentrification is Weird?
I'm
right?
trying to figure out what to do with that. I feel like it should be in a fucking exhibit or something.
It does. I saved that picture, bro.
You saved it? Yeah.
I saved that shit crazy.
It's crazy. There's so much there. It's from
that needs to be like the next album cover or something.
It's definitely a song cover.
Oh yeah, an EP.
Yeah, that shit. That picture is perfect.
Yeah, it's so much. I mean, just talking like there's so much about dreams and where people are, and yeah. Anyways,
how aware people are.
How aware people are and aren't.
Or not.
I mean, I'm sure those people don't even know there's a Woodlawn Park Bloods at all. They don't even know what that is. So,
it's just nice real estate.
Yeah, but you know, I wanted to ask you, want to be respectful of the time and everything. So just kind of wanted to ask you about your latest project and other things that you have going on that you want to let people know about.
Yeah, what's next?
When you say latest project, you talking about Cold Blooded?
Cold Blooded, and then I know you've hinted at a number 2. Yeah. Well,
with Cold Blooded, man, I look at that Cold Blooded is gonna be my series to get off my rappity rap shit. You know what I mean? It's more so the ego rap type shit, as far as like showing off skill and bars, and there's still substance in there definitely, because I just feel like that's something I naturally gonna put in my music, but it's kind of a letting off steam type series that I'm gonna have. You know what I mean? Okay. And then the more conceptual shit will be on albums or EPs and things like that. But Cold Blooded is a series of more so the people who like bars. And
that video that Riley Brown did is dope as fuck.
Yeah, Riley is crazy.
Yeah,
but King Capes.
Yeah.
So, do you have? I mean, I know at this point we're all in quarantine, but do you have any shows or things that people can plug into right now?
Nah. For right now, I'm not really looking at no shows. I'm focused on finishing the next project that I got. So there'll be another project coming. I don't know when. I say like late spring, early summer.
Who's doing the beats? Dre Slaps or?
Nah, it's not one producer.
Okay.
I'm doing it how. Yeah, I'm doing it how I usually do it with like a variety of different producers, but it's gonna be an EP.
Nice.
I don't know exactly what I'm calling it yet, but it's definitely more introspective and more personal. Kind of like Rise and Grind. was.
Okay.
Everybody who's heard that, but it's like now in the last 2 years. You know what I mean?
We need that. We need that.
And there's a big emphasis on like your purpose.
Wow.
Like using your purpose as like your compass. Because there's been times with this rap shit, like I've got ultra competitive and you kind of lose your way sometimes. You get egocentric and not ego in a way like I'm bragging and all of that, but like you start to feel entitled, like, nah, I deserve this, I deserve that. And that's where like a lot of the energy came from with Sheesh and shit like that. There was a lot of testiness going on in the scene, and I
liked it though. I mean,
no,
but I get.
I'm not mad at it at all. You know what I mean? But it's like a different.
I get you. A different vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I felt the way. I know there was a lot of talking, so like I put that out with that, and Cold Blooded was somewhat kind of that, but Cold Blooded was something I was working on an album that I'm still working on, but a lot of the songs that I was recording wasn't the type of ones that I wanted on that album, so I just made Cold Blooded, and it turned into that. But the one that I'm working on is way more introspective and it's raw. You know what I mean? It's more. I'm talking about shit I ain't really talked about before, and it's getting deeper on some things. So I just want, and it's also about just not fearing your dreams, bro. Going after them. At the end of the day.
Well,
so speaking of that testiness, though, you know, we've been seeing like on IG, was it like Lil Jon and T-Pain and like Teddy Riley and Babyface? I mean, are you gonna be jumping in on any of these? We're gonna get some like Portland version of these IG battles.
Hey
just
man,
gonna put that in there.
I'm gonna tell you like this. This is the mic side, the rapper side. Don't nobody want that smoke, bro. Not just not my age range discography wise, you know what I mean? Rashid is the only one. I feel like Rashid is like the only one. And that's not taken away from nobody else, but I mean like as far as catalog.
Rashid Jamal, everyone look him up. Rashid Jamal.
It might have to happen. We might have to do a battle called Family Feud.
That's funny.
Mike Capes and Rashid Jamal. BLR.
And we from the same camp, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's called Family Feud.
Right? Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, but I've been watching these battles. I think it's dope. It don't seem like it's ego involved. It's people just having fun.
I haven't seen any. What ones do you suggest?
Lil Jon and T-Pain.
Oh yeah. I saw that on Twitter. I think. Yeah.
Who else went?
Teddy Riley.
It's like Manny Fresh and Scott Storch was another one. Yeah. I think Teddy Riley and Babyface were supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They kind of just play the songs. They play their best songs that they've written or was on back and forth, and they go to 20, and you see who wins.
Yep. Well, we definitely appreciate you making the time, you know, to talk a little bit more about what you're doing, what you've been doing, and how can people follow you and support your art? I've been dropping links in the chat.
I've been seeing it, bro.
Yeah, but how can people support?
Man, you can follow me on social medias at Mike Capes Raps. That's MICCAPES RAPS. Did I go too fast on that?
I thought it was Mike Capes Music.
Oh no, I changed it to Mike Capes Raps.
Oh, you changed it? Okay, cool.
MICCAPES RAPS.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then also
change it up on me.
Yeah. Also can support me by just streaming the music, telling a friend about the music if you dig it. Bandcamp is the best way to really support, I think, with artists these days. Yep. So if you got a Bandcamp, pick it up on there. And shit, when the Rona leave, come out to the shows, man. Have a good time. And I have merch as well, so you can hit me about merch too.
Yeah. The merch is dope.
I want a hat. For sure.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Mike, for coming to the show. we're going to move into the next one. I don't know if you want to stay for this one. If not, more than welcome to leave. We're going to be looking at Matt Randall's
another North Portland.
Yeah.
Right. Matt
Randall.
too.
Yep. He's a St. John's rapper as well. He's just a little bit taller than Mike.
Yeah, we different body types.
But this song is from his album Art of Allowing. It's called Eulogy / What's Your Vibe? And yeah, it's a very introspective track.
Mm-hmm.